I hit the record button, so we'll see what happens with that. Hi, I am so glad that you are tuning in tonight. I know that we have people that will be hopping on and off, so I'll say this now and throughout the class. If at any point in time you have a question, there should be a live chat feature that you can go ahead and chat me a question. If I don't get to that right now, then please post it on our Facebook event page, or you can always contact the person who invited you, and we will try to get that answered. I am so glad that you are tuning in. It is very cold and blustery here tonight, so I am kind of cozied up here in my favorite chair, and I just want to share with you exactly what I would if I were in your kitchen or if we were friends and talking to you about oils, just in how we use them in our everyday life. That's very much how my journey to oils started, was just part of my everyday life. So I'll be talking with you a lot about that. There are a couple things to note, and I have two disclaimers. Number one, the only products I'm talking about are Young Living, and that's because I'm familiar with them. I'm educated on them. I understand their perimeters and what they're allowed to be used for, and their purity and potency is second to none in the industry. So, for instance, let's say you get really excited about the fact that lavender is amazing for skincare, especially this time of year. And so you run to Walmart, because Walmart now carries essential oils, and you run there, or you run to the health food store and you think, I'm going to get some great essential oils and I'm going to make some lotion. I'm going to take a relaxing bath. I'm going to use this to help with some skin issues that we're having, and it might make it worse. And so that is such a huge caution. I absolutely don't want you to do that. Sometimes people are in such a huge hurry. They get so excited to try something that they don't wait for their Young Living box to arrive. So please don't do that. Recognize that that is a disclaimer. And then also, I am obviously not a doctor, nor do I have medical training, and there's always wisdom in, if you're on medication or pregnant or nursing, check with your doctor, talk with them. They may not be familiar with essential oils, but they may have cautions for you. And we do that even. We talk with our pediatrician frequently about what we're doing and how we're using it with our children, and they're not aware of everything that we do, but it's always nice to have them filled in, and I do appreciate their feedback. So that is the other disclaimer there. We'll go ahead and get started then. I see that a couple people are jumping on, so again, if you just clicked here, feel free to post your questions on the Facebook page if you don't want to use the chat. All right, let's talk a little bit about what is wellness, or why you're here. Some of you may not know. Some of you just think, oh, I've heard about these essential oils. I don't know what they're about. I'm going to stop in and, listen to this class. You're snowed in at home. You have nothing better to do. Others of you may have something in particular you want to address, and you've heard that essential oils can help you, and so that may be why you're here. But for a lot of people, we just really want to feel great. We want that boost of energy. I always think of it that I used to have. I didn't know that I had awesome energy in my early 20s, and I did. And so for me, that was a huge thing. We came to using oils for a specific issue that my daughter was having, but over the last 2 years, we have come upon so many more things. I love that I have great sleep and my body works like it's supposed to, and I can use this for emotional balance, and I have something when I'm tempted or I have cravings to eat something, or especially drink something that's not healthy. I have some great things to add to my water that are delicious and good for my body. Our immunity is so much better than it was. Oh my goodness, we were living at the doctor's office years ago, and now we aren't. And so I don't know if any of those reasons touch on why you are here, but hopefully you'll get some information that will be able to answer a little bit of those questions and how you can use the oils for each of those things. First, and I think most importantly about Young Living, something that brought me to them is their seed to seal guarantee. And if you have ever been to one of my classes in person, this is always something that I absolutely cover because it's so important. You can go, like I said, to Walmart, you can go to the health food store and get essential oils. So the difference in the quality and the purity and potency is that Young Living, from seed, from that little tiny heirloom seed that they choose, to the seal of the bottle, they control that process. And it is amazing. I got to visit their Mona, Utah lavender farm earlier this year, and it was incredible to see their commitment to really solid agricultural processes. They are not cutting corners anywhere. And so they choose the right seeds and they plant them on rested fields with complementary crops. Young Living has been around for over 20 years, and they own all of their own farmland, or they work with partner crops where they have people there from Young Living that are maintaining their standard of purity. So there's never an answer of, they can always tell you where it came from and what's in it. You won't get the answer that it's a proprietary blend or information. They are so transparent with that. And so they have their own farms there. They weed either by hand or machine. They do not use pesticides to weed. And that is so important because you're thinking about it. Essential oils, we'll talk about in a minute, are this condensed liquid from a plant. And so if it's had any type of chemical that's been used to either take care of pest control or to distill it, that's going to go in your body. And that defeats the purpose of what we're going for whenever we're using essential oils. So then they also distill it on their own property. There's no dry time. Their distilleries are absolutely amazing. We got to walk in and we smelled fresh juniper and goldenrod, and it was so incredible to talk to each person throughout the distillery and just hear about their job and their commitment to their quality. Young Living does rigorous testing, and that's the next process in seed to seal. They do their own testing and third party, and they put it through 8 rigorous tests. They actually only keep the top 30% of the oils that they produce. So if it doesn't meet that standard, then it's not allowed to be distributed as the therapeutic grade essential oil, because they want their oils to be consistent in the way that they work. They're very powerful. You only need a drop or two, and they want that to be maintained. So then the final step of seed to seal is that seal guarantee, and they distribute their oils and their products to places all over the world. And that's not just for their oils. Every single one of their products has oils in it. So supplements, Ningxia Red, the Thieves Cleaner, that applies to everything. That their standard of potency and purity is absolutely second to none. It is regarded as the gold standard of essential oils in the natural health world. So that was really what made me so comfortable using them. We came to Young Living for my daughter, and she was young at the time, and really just were very desperate. And so we were very cautious, especially me. I'd never done anything that had to do with natural health, and I was very nervous about that. So it was important to me that I knew I was getting the best, and that I knew it would be what it said it is. On every single bottle of Young Living's oils, or even on their supplements, there's a batch number, and you can call Young Living and ask them for the detailed information about that batch. Again, transparency there, and a commitment to their consumers to know that we're getting what it says that we're getting on the outside of our bottle. Okay, so as we then think about that, why would that be important? I think that's so critical to go over. We talked about distillation a little bit, but when you think about synthetic products, why would our body needs these products? Well, there are so many toxins in our environment. And I think that that's something that I would have heard a couple years ago and probably just not really given the time of day, to be very honest. But if you think about, there are lots of things that we breathe in the air. For instance, an air freshener has over 300 ingredients, one of which can be formaldehyde. The same formaldehyde that's used to embalm dead bodies. All kinds of our cleaners, of our body perfumes. Look in your medicine cabinet area or your beauty cabinet area, wherever it is you get ready, and look at all of the scents that are on your lotions. It doesn't really have apple in it, or it doesn't really have pear in it. That is a synthetic smell. And you're putting that on your largest organ in your body, which is your skin. All of that is absorbed. Chemicals in our food, in our air, in our cleaners, all kinds of areas, in our medicines, and our body doesn't know what to do with that. We were not made to process the inundation of chemicals that our bodies receive in this day and age. I think if you were to compare the chemicals that we have in our bodies compared to those of even probably our grandparents 50 years ago, it would be drastically different. And so our bodies are crying out for help. And I think we see that we don't always have a lot of energy. We're not sleeping well. Stress affects us in a lot of really terrible ways. Not to mention, being sick, having a decreased immunity, all of those things, foggy brain. How about that? Have you ever thought about that the cleaners you use in your house could be helping you to not remember as well or not be as focused? It absolutely can have an effect. And so for me, that is a huge benefit of essential oils. They're non-toxic, they're natural, I can trust Young Living, and they can have amazing benefits for the things that I want to address in my everyday life. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and review some of Young Living's most popular oils, and those are formulated into what's called the Everyday Oils Collection, and they do that to kind of give you a sampling. We'll talk a little bit about, you may have heard about a premium starter kit. Again, they group that together along with the diffuser, kind of to help you get started. I don't think I would have known any type of oil as to what to order. I would have been guessing, and that is really a great place to start. So we'll go ahead and go through the kit oil by oil and give you a little bit of an idea of what you can do with each one, and then we'll answer some other general questions at the end, and we'll be done. Okay? First of all, what are essential oils, you may be wondering? It's the lifeblood of the plant. So in our human body, our blood carries nutrition and oxygen to our cells. This helps them function optimally, do what they need to do, really just make sure that our body is functioning well. That's the same job that the essential oil has in the plant. And so when Young Living uses low temperature and low pressure steam distillation, it gets that oil out of the plant, and we're able to experience some of the same benefits. There are a couple ways that you can use oils, and there are different ways for each oil. They are labeled that way, or you can use a reference guide that gives you information. And Young Living actually just debuted a new dietary oil line that's not in the starter kit yet, but if you want oils that you specifically know that you can ingest, they are labeled differently, and that's fantastic. They're also really economical. So in terms of methods of application, the first one is topically. That's just on your skin. So a lot of times what we'll do is we'll say you need to dilute it. Okay, so diluted means you're going to take a fatty oil, like a coconut oil, grapeseed, olive, something like that has those fatty acid particles, and you're going to use it to spread out the oil further and to not make it as strong, because a drop is very potent. And so you're going to use that on the area that is affecting you. Let's say you have a skin issue, lavender, you're going to put right on there. Or let's say you have some everyday discomfort, you're going to put peppermint right on your skin. You can layer different oils on top of one another if you want to use more than one. And then also there are places on your feet called VitaFlex points. This is really similar to reflexology. There are different points on your feet that correspond to different parts in your body, and applying oils there can have an effect on that part of your body. Also, the pores in your feet are larger and tend to absorb things quicker than anywhere else in your body. So my family and I put some oils on our feet every day to help boost our immunity, and that's where we put them. We also put stinky oils on our feet because no one wants to smell them. So that's kind of our policy on that. So you can apply essential oils topically. You can also put them in a roller ball. We do this all the time for oils that especially my kids are going to be applying for themselves. That way it's easy. You don't have to worry about diluting it every time. And that's something, the starter kit comes with one, but you can buy those additionally from Young Living, and they're very reasonably priced. The next way that you can use an essential oil is to inhale it. There are a couple ways. You can see my diffuser going right here. This is the home diffuser. There are a couple other options. Some take distilled water, some take tap water. It's kind of up to you what to choose. But that's one way to inhale your oils. And we do this every night. We have diffusers going in our room every night. We kind of switch up what is in there depending on what we've been doing for the day or what our bodies are doing. But that's one way. You can also just smell it out of the bottle. So there are times when I really need some respiratory support. RC is great for respiratory care, so sometimes I'll just smell it out of the bottle. And then you can also put a drop or two in your hands and rub it together and take a deep breath. like that is another great thing to do, especially if you really need to focus, or if you're trying to really support or help your nose function well. That is absolutely something that is so good to be able to do. So inhalation is one way. And then the final way is internally. So there are a couple ways you can do this. You can put your oils in a glass of water, and you want to make sure you use a glass. A lot of the citrus oils are designed to help your body detox, so they clean out impurities. And the last thing you want if you are cleaning the impurities out of your body is to be putting that in a plastic bottle where it's going to be taking out those plastic particles. That's not what you want. So you want to make sure you use actual glass. And then there are a couple other things. You can put your oils in juice or tea. I love orange in my tea. It just gives it a really good flavor. I don't drink sweetened tea, and so that just kind of mixes it up a little bit for me. I also like oils in a teaspoon or a tablespoon of honey. That's really good. That's also great for kids. If you feel like your kids are old enough to ingest oils, you can use it to season your food. A little bit goes such a long way. I mean, a drop is sometimes too much. And then there are actually little vegetable capsules that you can purchase, either from Young Living. You can get them on Amazon or at the health food store. 00 is a very popular size, and you can put your oils in there and take them with some water, and they're great. So those are 3 different ways that you can use them. And again, there's some great reference materials you can get. And Young Living gives you that information too via a little chart inside the starter kit, which is really helpful. It's color-coded and very easy to follow. So let's go on. We're going to now talk about the Everyday Oils collection. This is how I got started, and it has some oils in it that we use every day still, 2 years later. The first one is lavender. It comes in this nice little purple bottle. This one is a little bit bigger. This is going to be 15 mils, which is 250 drops. And in the kit, the bottle sizes are going to be 5 mil, which is 85 to 88 drops. Since you're only using 1 to 2 drops at a time because you're diluting them, that's actually going to go a really long way. How much you diffuse is up to you. The guide a lot of times will tell you to do 8 to 12 drops, and I feel like that is a really large amount unless you just have a very large area that you're trying to affect. So a couple drops in the diffuser, 1 or 2 drops for whatever you're trying to do, and it's going to take you a long time to use a lot of these things. Lavender is phenomenal. It is the most used oil in our house, probably about tied with peppermint, because I use peppermint every day. But my kids use this all the time. It helps promote a relaxing night's sleep. That's how we use the diffuser. Sometimes I'll rub it on my kids' feet or their head, just kind of depending on what their day has held and how their little bodies are doing. It is also great at balancing your normal body functions, helping support healthy sleep habits again. It also is very soothing and helps release tension. There have been some amazing studies that have been done about lavender. Absolutely phenomenal. It helps with seasonal irritants and pollen flare-ups. It's also great for sun-exposed skin, and it's fantastic for, helping clean cuts and scrapes and just common skin issues. So fantastic. I think that there are probably hundreds of uses for lavender, and those are just a few of them. Next up, we have peppermint, and I so wish that we were together in person so that you could smell this peppermint. It does not smell like a candy cane. If peppermint oil smells like a candy cane, it is because it is not the first distillation. It is not the most powerful, potent oil that has come from that plant. As you distill something, it gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter because it is less and less potent. Okay, so the peppermint is very strong and minty, and it has an earthy smell to it, which you notice with essential oils. That's because if you were to smell a peppermint plant, it would be minty and earthy. It would smell like a plant, and that is exactly what their peppermint smells like. I love this so much. It can help with your mental acuity. There have been some fantastic studies done on that. It can help boost your athletic performance, and there have been great studies done about the VO2 output of athletes. It can encourage proper nasal function. It is has been around for forever as one of the best digestive aids, and is absolutely fantastic for that. It helps it to soothe digestive issues, but also for your digestive system to work a little bit more frequently, which is or a little bit more smoothly, which is absolutely what you want. And again, it helps improve concentration as well as alleviate everyday aches and pains, which is absolutely what I love it for. So this is an oil that I use every day. It gives a huge energy boost when I use it as a dietary supplement. It also is so great. I put it all the time on the back of my neck for tension, or if I've been working out really hard. This is one of my favorite oils to use this way. You can also use essential oils in an Epsom salt bath. So you would take a cup of Epsom salts and you would put your essential oils in there and let them absorb for a minute, and then put them in your tub, and it is wonderful. So that is one of my favorite ways to relax, and peppermint includes that. Now, peppermint is what's called a hot oil. So this has a little bit of a tingle to it. It doesn't burn you. It's not going to harm you in that way, but it does just feel really tingly. So this is one that you want to be sure to dilute, and it is not for use for children 2 years of age and under. So that's just something to be aware of. Next up is Thieves. I absolutely love Thieves. There have been the essential oil blend, which has rosemary and clove and lemon and a couple other oils, has been university tested for its cleansing properties. Absolutely phenomenal. So if you take those individual ingredients and you go to the website www.pubmed.gov, which I will post on our Facebook page, so don't worry about writing it down, you can go there and you can individually research the different ingredients in there, and there are some phenomenal results. So that's a government website you can check out. Again, so many essential oil studies on there, especially about frankincense and peppermint as well. Fantastic. Thieves is also highly effective in supporting your immune system and great for aiding in and supporting dental health. I love the Thieves toothpaste. There is a whole line of other Thieves products because it's such an effective oil, but you can also take I just put a drop sometimes on my toothbrush if I really feel like I have something going on in my mouth and I need some extra help with it. But you can also put a drop on some coconut oil, or if you're someone who does oil pulling, Thieves is a great thing to add to that. It has a really good flavor. It smells like Christmas. That's actually what is in my diffuser right now because it is phenomenal at boosting your immunity. And I don't know about you, but this time of year, this used to be the season of never-ending doom for my family and I. Like, we were living at the doctor's office, spending tons of money, missing work. We were just miserable. It was awful. And so for us, it has been such a lifesaver. This is an oil we put on the bottoms of our feet every day, of our feet. We have a roller ball to do that, and it is absolutely fantastic at helping us to stay healthy. It also has an antioxidant value that's very high, so you can read up on that in regards to clove, and so that helps boost my antioxidant intake for the day. Next up, we have frankincense. Frankincense is such an amazing oil because it really promotes healthy cellular function. So the things we talked about, your cells, how they're supposed to get and receive adequate nutrition and oxygen, and then if they don't, you have, bad things going on in your body in a variety of different ways. So frankincense is a fantastic oil that really helps your body and your cells to function the way that they should. It's also phenomenal at helping support skin and skin issues. It's an ingredient that's in a lot of anti-aging creams, either for to deal with wrinkles or to deal with dryness. Fantastic for the skin. Amazing immunity boost. Absolutely love frankincense. It's also a really great calming oil. I find that it just really is very grounding. It has a very woodsy scent to it and is very relaxing. So we absolutely love to use this in our house, especially after a long, stressful day. Sometimes we'll diffuse it at night. Or we homeschool our kids, and so if they're having trouble focusing during the day, then this is absolutely something that we'll put in the diffuser or on the backs of their neck just to help them kind of focus and zone in for a few moments. Next up, we have lemon. Lemon is another oil that I use every day. I wake up in the morning and I fill my water bottle and I put a couple drops of lemon in, and I love it. It really, it's a detoxifying oil. It helps, can provide an energy boost and some mental clarity, which is great for anyone, right? You don't have to do that via coffee, which is nice. It's also a really great air freshener and degreaser. I clean solely with the Thieves concentrated cleaner. That's really easy. I love it. It makes I think 14 or 15 bottles of cleaner, so I don't have to run to Walmart and get cleaner all the time. I love that. I like that it's non-toxic. It has the thieves germ fighting power there. I love that. But lemon is the only other one that I use, and I have found a great recipe for, it's kind of like an all-natural bleach. It really works on whitening different elements around my home, and it has lemon and hydrogen peroxide and vinegar. I think maybe not those two. I'll have to look at my recipe, but it's something that I really love. And so those are the only things that I clean with, and lemon is great for that. You can put a drop in your dishwater if you have some really greasy dishes, and it helps that. It can also help with occasional tummy issues. And so this is one, again, I drink every morning. I love it, and really makes a great difference in my daily health. Next up is purification. Now this automatically makes me think of summer because it does have citronella and lemongrass in it. So if you smell it, you'll notice, you'll feel that, or you'll smell that really great summery scent. But this is a great way to naturally deodorize places in your home. At the beginning of the video, I talked about formaldehyde being in a lot of air fresheners along with hundreds of other ingredients that you're smelling and are affecting your brain. So it's good to eliminate those in ways that you can. There are also sometimes where those things just don't cut it. I don't know if any of you have teenagers or people who have some fragrant feet, but this is a great thing to put a drop or two in some shoes, or to put it in a smelly load of laundry, or to diffuse it throughout the day. I really like to diffuse it with lemon, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. Love that. To take away kind of an unpleasant smelling area. This is also, it contains citronella, which is a great, used as an insect repellent, and it can be used, I use mine in my dishwasher and the washing machine to kind of help those stay smelling fresh. Sometimes our dishwasher kind of gets that very used scent to it, so this is great to use for that. Next up, we have Digize. Now this was added to the kit about 6 months ago, and I think that this and RC being added are two of the best things that Young Living ever did to the starter kit. And that's because Digize is so good for anything with the digestive system. It provides so much support and just nutrition to that digestive system, or encourages a natural function for your bowel movements. It's absolutely wonderful, and it's a great addition to any type of wellness routine. So anything that that you're normally doing, this is something that's really great to add to it. I do not love the smell of Digize, so this is something that I like to put in a capsule. Other people do like the smell of it. It's just personally not my favorite, but it is one that we use all the time in our house, and that really benefits my family. Next up, we have Panaway, which is amazing. I wish you could smell. It has peppermint and wintergreen and helichrysum, and so it's this really minty, fresh smell. Great for helping with everyday aches and discomfort. Fantastic. Supports a healthy muscular system. It also is used to help improve circulation, and is a great thing for that. This has been used, wintergreen and peppermint has been used for centuries in terms of for just general types of discomfort relief. And so this is one that I add with peppermint a lot. I was talking about that Epsom salt bath for after I work out. This is something that I absolutely add to that. And it's really great. I dilute this a little bit and we'll top it off with peppermint, and it's something that I love having as an alternative. So I'm not always going to a medicine cabinet and saying, oh man, this is uncomfortable, let me, do this or take that, because that builds up in your system and it's just so unhealthy for you. So I find that, for me personally, a good way to avoid putting some extra toxins in my body by using that. Next up is Stress Away, and I wish that usually people smell this and they're like, oh, that smells so good. It can be used as a perfume. This is what I use a lot of the time, not only for stress awayness, but for the fact that it is really pleasant smelling. It has vanilla and lime and copaiba in it, and so it's just a really warm, fragrant smell. You may be wondering, why on earth are their oils that are labeled Stress Away, or Young Living has some other ones. They have Joy and just some other great oils that are kind of geared towards our emotions and reducing stress and addressing that in our lives. And Stress Away is actually great because the essential oil particles are small enough that they cross the blood-brain barrier in your brain. And what that means is that they can have a powerful impact on the limbic system of your brain. So that is the part of your brain that is in control of your emotions. So how you have some scents that are associated with either really good or really bad memories, that limbic system is in charge of that. Or the concept of aromatherapy that has been around for a long time, that is tuning in, tapping into that limbic system. So Stress Away is going to help maintain equilibrium. It's going to help reduce the stressors that can cause you to, have unsettling feelings. It can help with things that impact your sleep. It can also help just relieve. I tell people it's that my mind knows something's okay, but my body needs time to catch up, and it helps my body catch up with that. And so I really love it. We use it all the time, and we use this often on our kids. I say that we have kids who, at all kids get to the point where sometimes they just cannot get in control of what is happening. They're too far gone. They're too tired. They're too hungry. They're whatever. They just have to kind of be brought back down. And this is something that we use in our house. And our kids will, when they're crying, they'll be saying, "Are you putting oils on me? Is that the stress oil?" And so it just kind of helps their little bodies adjust and calm down when they're otherwise struggling. Next up in the kit is we have Copaiba, and this was something that was added in June as well. I love this. It has a really light, gentle scent, very similar to Stress Away. It is fantastic for supporting a healthy digestive system, and it's really good at aiding in your body's natural response to injury or irritation. So Copaiba is a great body support supplement, and that's one that you can either use topically or you can be taken internally. That will be labeled both ways now that the Vitality line is out. So that is just two fantastic ways to use that, and I love that. I sometimes throw that into my bath as well when I'm following up that hard workout. Next up, and our last essential oil is RC, and this stands for respiratory care. And so this is great at supporting your respiratory system. It's good to inhale before exercise. It encourages proper nasal function. So this is something that we absolutely love at our house. I know that for me, and having kids, there are a lot of times not a lot of things that you can do for them. I mean, a lot of times kids are sick, all throughout the year, and the pediatrician will say, you just kind of have to suck it up and deal with it. And so this is something I can use with them. Again, it does have a little bit of peppermint in it and some pine and cypress. And so you want to use this on children that are 2 and older. You want to dilute, but it's so amazing. This is one of my favorite diffuser blends, especially for this time of year, because it really makes a difference in my family and how we feel. That is a super brief covering or version of the essential oils that are in the starter kit. And the reason we go over that is that it's such a great way to kind of get introduced to oils. It also gives you a fantastic discount. You're getting over $300 worth of products along with the diffuser and some other samples. There are 2 little red packets in there that are labeled Ninja Red, or some people call it Ninja Red. Whatever you want to call it is fine, but it's awesome, so don't throw it away. Sometimes people don't know what it is and they toss it. That is an antioxidant superfood drink, and so they include a couple of those so you can try it out. That is what helped me to kick my afternoon coffee habit. Although I still enjoy coffee in the afternoon, I don't rely on it, and I love that. So Ninja Red is something that's part of my daily routine and that I really enjoy. And kind of going from there, Young Living, when you purchase a premium starter kit, which is the intro to oils that we're discussing, you will get a 24% discount on anything else that you purchase. It gives you a membership to their online store, just like Costco is a store you can go to in person and you have a membership. The same thing happens with Young Living and the membership that they offer you. And so that is a phenomenal way. I've talked with a lot of people who said, I want to get started, but I don't know where. And so, number one, the starter kit is a good way. But then look at your home. Look at areas that you want to tackle first. When we first started using oils, again, it was for a specific issue. And I just tried to use the oils I needed to for that, and then one other oil a day. Just experiment. And I looked up in my reference book what to do, and that's how I began using it. And then I knew I wanted to switch cleaners because I didn't notice ill effects of cleaners that I was using before, but after I switched, you can bet, now I completely feel different. I get a headache, my skin gets itchy if I'm using a synthetic cleaner that is very toxic. And so that was something that I switched over right away, and it was great having the discount. I also use a program that Young Living offers called Essential Rewards, and so as you kind of transition things over to things that are oil infused, you're going to be able to use their Essential Rewards program and save money by earning points to get free items. So that was something that I thought it was so important to be able to save money compared to what I could get at the health food store in terms of products, but also to be able to get money back to buy some really fun things like skincare, or we do some vitamins and supplements for our kids, and we love to be able to do that. Other than that, there are so many great things to be able to share with you, but that is going to be our Intro to Oils class for this evening. Please contact whoever shared this video with you, and they would be glad to answer more questions. You can contact me via the Facebook page or my profile on Facebook, and I would be happy to answer questions for you as well. But I hope that you have a great night, and I will talk to you soon.